I absolutely love the music of Advent. Hymns like, O come, Emmanuel. Wake, awake, for night is flying. Come, thou long-expected Jesus. Comfort, comfort now my people. I even like the smarmy ones like, the angel Gabriel from heaven came. But I have to confess that I always struggle with the passages that the lectionary assigns for Advent. I mean, what does one do with the apocalyptic language found in today's gospel? How am I supposed to speak a relevant word with all this talk about the coming of the Son of Man? Thanksgiving is past, and most of us are already in full Christmas mode. Advent passages encourage us to watch, to wait, to be quiet, to prepare. And so we should. But perhaps today we might consider our gospel lesson just a little bit differently. I wonder if rather than hearing this as another admonition regarding our need to be on guard or ready for judgment, we might hear this passage as one of promise. Promise in the midst of the unexpected. You see, the central underlying theme of any apocalyptic literature is assurance that God is ultimately in control, even when it seems the whole world is coming unhinged. Granted, it can be easy to miss this theme amidst all the language that surrounds the coming of man. And it can be completely missed by the so-called end-time prophets of our own day, who seem to focus on the doom and gloom of it all. But in our gospel lesson, Jesus is speaking to his disciples, and at the heart of this brief apocalyptic passage is the promise that when Christ comes, he will gather the elect to himself. So even in the midst of the most disturbing parts of these passages, we need to hear, to understand that in the light of this is the comforting promise that Jesus gives us. Today we might consider this the unexpected nature of events. We kind of know that, right? Jesus says, about that day and hour, no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. I'm not sure how much more plain Jesus can be than that. So rather than trying to calculate exactly the big day, when it will be and how it will be, instead of focusing our efforts on getting out unscathed, perhaps we might simply remember that any day, any moment, any year might be the time when the unexpected happens. We know that life is full of the unexpected. We plan how our life will go. We go about our normal routines of working and shopping and perhaps even partying, and then, bam, things explode and we are caught off guard. Sometimes the things that happen are exciting and wonderful and joyful. But those seem a bit rarer than the unexpected disappointments that happen to us. Life seems precarious and unpredictable. We experience personal tragedies, a death of a loved one, the loss of a job, a medical emergency, a downturn in the economy, a setback from an unexpected source. We can go through life trying to protect ourselves. We can make all kinds of contingency plans. We can even be skeptical about trusting one another. We can shield ourselves from relationships in an attempt to prevent ourselves from being hurt. But in the end, we can't protect ourselves completely. We can't anticipate everything that will happen. The unexpected will come to us all. You know, one of the things that I learned as a chaplain is that while on one level we expect bad things to happen, there are folks who genuinely, however, never seem to have heard the news that when it comes to this world, none of us are getting out alive. Sisters and brothers, I don't want you to be caught unaware. So I want you to hear me. This is a news flash. We shall all die. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even the next day, but none of us gets out of this alive. No matter how hard we try to resist it, no matter how much we diet or exercise, no matter how much makeup we put on our faces, no matter how many guns we purchase or how much ammo we have on hand, no matter how many precautions we take, no one escapes this fate. It can be a real tragedy when Sally and Martha are working together one minute and Martha is left all alone the next. But the bigger tragedy is when Sally is taken and Martha never expected it to happen at all. And more importantly, that Martha finds no hope, no meaning in Sally's departing. The difference may seem subtle, but it is significant. The difference, you see, is in the expecting the possibility of the unexpected and in recognizing the promise therein. The heart-rending that accompanies upheaval can be made all the more tragic, you see, when one lives one's life as if they never expected that the thief who comes to steal in the night might ever come at all. The ultimate tragedy is that when we go about our lives working and shopping and dancing and drinking without any thought whatsoever about what shall come. The good news of Advent, the good news that it offers, is not that God will protect us from all anxiety and shield us from all uncertain futures. Rather, the promise of God is the consolation that just as bad, unexpected things happen, God's ultimate good can also happen. And it can also come just as unexpectedly. And perhaps more importantly, the Holy One that God promises to be with us, Emmanuel, God with us, the promise is that Emmanuel will be with us in the midst of the uncertainty of life. That's the promise of Advent. So as the wintry days grow shorter and darkness seems to pervade all aspects of life, Advent is a reminder that the light of the world comes to shine in that deep darkness. The Promised One comes to illumine our lives and lead us through those uncertainties, those surprises that happen to us. So my prayer for us is that we will not withdraw and crouch in fear, but that we will live our lives watchfully. Watchfully, with courage and confidence. Perhaps even boldly with joy. As we wait the day of Christ's glorious coming. For it is that day when all the hope of the world is finally and fully realized. Amen.